I found a hidden camera in my Airbnb. But that wasn't even the worst part. I was unpacking my bag, setting up my things on the nightstand, when my charger slipped behind the lamp. I reached down to grab it, and that's when I noticed the small black lens tucked inside the socket outlet. It looked like one of those tiny pinhole cameras you see in spy movies. At first, I thought maybe it was some kind of motion sensor. But when I looked closer, there was a faint red light, recording. My heart started racing. I unplugged the lamp, took a photo, and pulled the socket cover off. The camera was real. A tiny SD card sat behind it. I just stood there for a second, staring at it, trying to process what I was looking at. I was alone in a house booked under someone's verified host name. I'd already been there for a few hours. I took the SD card out and slid it into my laptop. There were multiple video files, dozens. I clicked the first one. The footage wasn't of me. It was of someone else. A woman. Same room. Same bed. Recorded 2 nights before I arrived. The woman in the video looked about my age. She was unpacking her things the same way I had earlier. At first, it just looked normal, her walking around, brushing her hair, scrolling through her phone. Then, around 1 a.m., she sat up in bed like she heard something. She stared toward the door for a while. After a few minutes, she got up, walked over, and opened it. No one was there. She looked confused, then shut the door again. I skipped ahead. In the next clip, about an hour later, the door opened slowly while she was asleep. Someone was standing there. You could only see part of their body. Dark pants, shoes, a shadow leaning into the frame. They didn't move for a long time, just stood there watching. Then the footage cut out. My stomach dropped. I clicked another file. Same woman, different night. This time she was packing her bags in a hurry, looking scared. She left the room and never came back. The last video was timestamped the morning before I arrived. The room was empty. Then, someone stepped into frame, adjusted the camera, and looked straight into it. It was the host. I froze when I saw his face in the footage. It was the same guy who'd handed me the keys earlier that day, friendly smile, polite, even offered restaurant recommendations. Now I couldn't stop replaying that moment in my head, him standing a little too close, asking if I was traveling alone. I called the Airbnb number listed on the booking. No answer. Then I tried messaging through the app. There's a hidden camera in the bedroom. I need you to call me right now. Nothing. A few minutes later, I got a message back, not from him, but from the system saying the listing was temporarily unavailable. That's when I packed my stuff. I didn't even care about the money or my plans. I just wanted out. As I was about to leave, I heard a car door shut outside. I looked through the blinds. It was him, the host, walking toward the house. He shouldn't have been there. Check-in instructions said he lived in another city. I grabbed my bag, went out the back door, and ran to my car. I didn't stop driving until I was 20 minutes away. I drove straight to the nearest police station. I didn't even know what to say at first, just handed them the SD card and said, "There's a camera in the place I rented." The officer took me into a side room, plugged it into their computer, and started scrolling through the footage. He didn't say much, just kept frowning. When he reached the part with the woman and the man in the doorway, he stopped the video and looked at me. "Do you know this man?" I told him he was the Airbnb host. The officer left the room, came back a few minutes later with another detective, and they started asking questions. When I checked in, how I found the camera, if anyone else had a key. Then one of them said something that made my stomach turn. "You're not the first person to file a report about him." They said there had been 2 other complaints from female guests in the past year. Both mentioned strange noises and someone entering the property without permission. But no one had actual proof until now. They took my statement, kept the SD card, and told me to find a hotel for the night. I did exactly that. I didn't sleep at all. A few days later, the police called me back. They'd arrested the host. Turns out he'd been running that Airbnb under different names. He had cameras in at least 3 other properties, all hidden the same way. Most of the footage showed guests doing normal things, but there were clips of him entering rooms when they were gone. Some showed him standing there for minutes at a time, just watching. Airbnb banned him immediately. They refunded my stay and offered support services, but honestly, I didn't care about the money. I just couldn't stop thinking about that woman in the video. They told me they were trying to identify her. She'd never reported anything. She just left. I deleted the app after that. Haven't used it since. I still travel for work sometimes, but I stick to hotels now. I check every smoke detector, every outlet, every mirror. Once you see something like that, you can't unsee it. That's it for today's story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily threads, and drop a comment to let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one.